The singular beauty of true poetry has been seen as the dominant feature of the culture in China's southern half, as the very root of Romanticism in Chinese literature. The most precious and prestigious pieces of the Hunan Provincial Museum are the relics from the Ma Wangdui Han Dynasty tomb. Excavated from 1972 to 1974, this graveyard of Marcus Dai dates back to the 2nd century BC. As one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, it has astounded the whole world. The most wonderful relic in the discovery is the female human body, which has remained intact and unspoiled. After being buried underground for over 2,000 years, the peaceful machinist still looks like a grandmother, the new home for the first side of heaven. The new home for the family of Marcus Dai displays all the daily utensils of nobility in the Han Dynasty. Visitors can experience the everyday life of an aristocrat of 2,100 years ago. The exquisite silk fabrics and garments unearthed in the tomb are dazzling in both quality and quantity. This full-size gauze garment weighs a mere 49 grams. It's the world's oldest known, best preserved, and lightest silk garment of fine workmanship. Besides the finest food, drink, and clothes, the Marchioness also enjoyed the most fashionable entertainment of her time. This 25-string musical instrument is called the se. It's the earliest intact string instrument ever found in China. Over the centuries, it must have produced many beautiful melodies to memorize the ancients. And accompanying it should be the yu, the wood-winged instrument with 22 tubes. This is the oldest intact 7-string instrument in China. Along with the terracotta musicians in the No. 3 tomb, the instruments recreate the band of Marcus Dai, which perhaps also included a troupe of singers and dancers. Another world-class artwork in this palace is this T-shaped silk painting. It was used as a banner at the head of the funeral procession. The painting depicts the Marchioness' spirit flying through the many gates toward heaven and the solemn atmosphere of the underworld. Among the items buried in the tomb of her son is a silk painting depicting a grand parade with soldiers and horse-drawn carriages. This physical map of the southern Changsha kingdom was made some 200 years earlier than the Ptolemy map of Egypt, previously known as the oldest map. The Hunan Provincial Museum commissioned a large painting with vivid audio and video effects to transport visitors to the warfare and daily life of Changsha in the time of the Western Han Dynasty. We can conclude that the Marchioness' son would have been at home during the Renaissance. Among the items buried in his tomb are 2 silk volumes on astronomy, the world's oldest existing books in the field. The books contain an accurate depiction of a comet which had taken the shape of a monster in European literature until 1528. Also in the young man's library is a legendary Taoist classic. Researchers of ancient Chinese medicine were delighted to find a copy of the 52 Prescriptions, the earliest medical book composed in China. And this silk book of drawings is believed to be a guide for gymnastic exercise during the Han Dynasty. This statue depicts the machinist in the prime of her life. The recreation is based on her skeleton of the machinist. Her air of cheerfulness can be found in every Hunan girl you meet. "2,100 years ago, she presided over the household affairs of the Marcus Dai. Now she is the influential image spokeswoman of the Hunan Provincial Museum." The museum uses an innovative presentation of ancient relics by recreating the unearthing of machinist's body. The blocks of packed earth, the 3 huge coffins, and some still unknown gases. All these combine to help the machinist meet us 2,100 years later. With its vast collection of relics recording human history over past millennia, the Hunan Provincial Museum is a treasure house of the ages. Amid the fleeting time, it serves as a stop for people to rest and reflect, as well as a glorious palace to bridge the past and the future.